Welcome to Reef and Pondwise. It's another fantastic day in the hobby. Now, if it's your first time here and you love reef keeping and pond keeping like I do, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. So today is feeding day for the anemone. And so this video will be how I do that. So let's get started. So this anemone is hosted by a maroon clownfish. And the maroon clownfish was an original fish that I had in this tank to cycle it about a year and a half ago. And then shortly after that, I kept my water parameters stable for about 90 days and then put in the anemone. That was the very first thing that I put in the tank, along with the clownfish. And then I've had this damsel, this blue damsel, and this green chromis. These are all original cycling fish that are still in my tank. But these guys have become so attached to one another. It's kind of an amazing thing to watch. Now, this rose bubble tip anemone is a little bit smaller than a soccer ball and a little bit larger than a softball. So let's get started with the feeding, and let's see if none of the fish steal what I'm going to feed. Now, tonight I'm going to feed him a silverside. And usually what I do is cut off the head of the silverside along with the tail. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that if you feed your anemones and your fish, you should be feeding a variety of foods. So typically the diet for this anemone is mysis shrimp, squid, mussels, brine shrimp, silversides, and a variety of other things that I pick up at the supermarket, including fresh shrimp that is still in the shell. Obviously, you take the shell out before you feed the fish, but at the end of the day, these guys will eat about 2 to 3 times per week if you feed them. I do not feed mine 3 times a week. I feed them about once to twice a week, and it's those varieties that I just mentioned. So let's throw a silverside in there tonight and see if he'll get it without it being stolen by another fish. Now you can see how sticky his tentacles are when he grabs that fish, and he'll just bring it into his mouth, and slowly it will disappear as he eats it. And it's kind of an amazing thing to watch, because you see him 1 second and he wraps his tentacles really tight around that fish, and he'll open his mouth and suddenly it disappears. He devours it. So quite interesting to see a couple of times a week. And for whatever reason, I have no idea why, but that maroon clownfish right there will just realize, I guess, that he's eating and leave him alone, and he'll just tuck himself behind the anemone, and off the anemone goes. So there he goes. He's going to prove me wrong now. All of a sudden, he is in the anemone while the anemone is eating. That's a first. That's amazing. So a word about the maroon clownfish as this anemone eats his silverside. I don't think in a year and a half that this tank has been up that I've ever seen the maroon clownfish on the other side of the tank. I don't even think he's been in any other quarter of the tank than this one here where his anemone is. And they have this relationship that is unbelievable in terms of protecting one another, and this maroon clownfish is very, very territorial. So if you're going to get a clownfish, this maroon clownfish will not get along with other types of clownfish. You'd have to have 2 maroons in order for them to survive, but they don't need to be matched. Now, I believe this one is a female because it's about 6 inches long, and I know that the males don't get that big, so I'm assuming that this is definitely a female. Very aggressive. If any fish come around this anemone, that fish will go nuts and protect the anemone and just defend its space. So you can see how the anemone's folded up a little bit, coming detached from the rock, and now he's eating that silverside, and that silverside was pretty big. It was about 3/4 of a full silver side. So he's already gone. The anemone has already eaten them. So guys, if you like the video, give me a like, thumbs up, and remember, anybody can build a reef, but it takes someone special to keep one. That someone special is you.